Hello and welcome to episode 47 of Treasure Hunting for Nostalgia. This is Brandon.
This is Brad.
This is Nick.
So excited
Why?
because of the mythical creatures.
Why don't you go ahead and go into that right now?
Oh, our top 5 this week is going to be which mythical creature could we if we could transform into any one, which would it be?
And I emailed you and was like, should we narrow it down like to Greek mythology? And you're just like, no, anything that's not human.
Well, I was just thinking, I was sitting there at work when I saw that email and I said, he's got to know what a fucking mythical creature is.
No, because then there's, like Nick said, there's video game mythical creatures, like movie specific, like Gollum,
And Q.
things like that.
Have you seen Q?
No.
Do you know what Q is?
No.
It's about Quetzalcoatl. I'm guessing neither of you have seen that.
No.
I keep trying to find it at Dimple, but I can never find it.
And so I was like, we've got to narrow it down because it's just too broad of a topic. Because I thought maybe in future top fives we could say, you know, our top 5 fairy tale mythical creatures. But you're just like, nope, we're doing it. If you're not a human, you could. I was like, okay.
Well, if you think about it, we do that with video games. Like one time we did NES games.
Sure.
One time we did side scroller.
Sure. Okay.
So maybe not next week, but maybe 51 we could do mythical creatures of Ireland or something.
Okay. So you're excited about this?
Yep.
Do we want to get treasure hunting out of the way?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. So I'll go first. I've got 3 items. How many do you have?
I've only got 1. 3 items. That's bull. Oh, jeez.
Don't look.
I asked Brad if it's video, like what gen he had, like Generation 1 video game. He's like, none. I said, is it a video game? He said, no. I'm like, oh, jeez, it's a gimmick. He's like, no, it's value.
Gimmick.
Have you ever seen the movie Truth or Dare by Madonna?
Yes.
You watched it?
Yeah,
What
with Mom.
What format did you watch it on?
I watched on VHS.
Would you want to watch it on Laserdisc? Madonna, Truth or Dare on Laserdisc.
Did that happen to come with a Laserdisc player?
No?
Oh, I guess that was a silly question.
So silly. Have you ever seen this movie called Bad Dreams?
No.
Would you like to see it on Laserdisc?
It depends on what the cover looks like. Oh, wow. It looks like a zombie hand covering her face.
Pretty frightening looking. Have you ever seen the movie Boxing Helena?
Yes!
Would you like to see it on Laserdisc?
Yes, I would. That's hecka tight. There's a Misfits song based off of this movie, and that's what made me look at it. Basically, it's about a guy's fantasy to make a quadriplegic or an amputee cut off all her limbs, and that's what happens.
But it's all a dream, isn't it?
Yeah. You know how hard it is to ship that shit?
You know how hard it is to find this shit? These are like actual real laser discs.
Okay, well, yeah,
Boom.
that's cool. It looks like it's never been watched.
You can put that on the description. Make sure there's nothing else hidden in here. It's like still sealed and everything. Should up its value.
Yeah, so I don't even know how I'm gonna ship that. I just need a big envelope, I guess, that says fragile on it.
There's media folders that you could use. When I looked it up on eBay, it says ship via media envelope. So you could find one. Because people ship records all the time. This is the size of a record.
Yeah, and that's why I was really reluctant on shipping records, because it's so hard to go out and find the shit. Because I've got envelopes at work I could just put games in and ship it all the live long day, but when I have to go out and find the damn envelopes.
Look at the post office. They should have it there. Just take it to the post office and be like, what's the most efficient way I could ship this?
How about I put them up and you ship them?
No.
No.
All right, so what's your treasure?
Onto the Folsom Flea Market.
Retro Game Challenge for the Nintendo DS. Complete.
Yes.
How much is that worth?
$80.
No.
No, it's only worth 20.
How much
But
you get it for?
Look at the price tag on the front.
$12?
No. Look at the other price tag.
$10?
I haggled.
You got it for 10?
Nope. I haggled from 10. I said 5 and then he said 6. I said okay.
Okay, cool. Good job. But not good enough.
No. I called bullshit on you. I don't even want to. No more things that big. That sucks shipping. I hate shipping shit like that.
So, here go.
Wait,
Prize.
do you have an entry for church?
No,
Oh,
no
okay.
entries.
Prize first or punishment?
Punishment.
8. Corn dog.
Uh huh.
20. Nut tap.
Uh huh.
10. Nut tap.
I'll do nut tap.
All right. Let's get my prize out of the way. 5. Void item next week, the most expensive. 1. Oh no, 8. Corn dog. 4. Something I don't care about. Corn dog. I'm gonna void the item next week.
All right. Just one?
The most expensive.
Okay.
Are you gonna video it?
Sure.
All right.
Can I just do this?
No, because I don't know where they're falling. All right. Should I do like you?
That's on a tap. Oh, that wasn't a tap.
Yes, it was.
This is a tap.
That's icicle.
Oh, it's hurting worse as the time goes on. Oh man, I read online there's a way to get the paint out, but I can't remember what it is.
All right. Caught you mid-sentence there. For those of you who watched the video that Nick's going to put up, we're recording at the sharing place. It's like a low-cost hotel for cancer patients, and since I manage it on the weekends, we get this private room here, so that's why there's like a big blown-up air mattress that I didn't feel like deflating. It's one of the relatives that stay here. I just didn't deflate it, so for your viewing pleasure, go and check that out, and also check out the ass punch. So we're going to go into top 5. Top 5 if mythical creatures that you would like to turn into. Anything that is not human. Let's roll to see who gets to go first. Brandon gets 15. Nick 15. Brad 14. Brandon gets 12. Nick gets 8. So Brandon, Nick, then Brad.
Number 5 on my list is the Marid. Marid are often described as the most powerful type of jinn, or genie, having especially great powers. They are the most arrogant and proud. Like every jinn, they have free will. So every real jinn, you know how in the fake genie in Aladdin he didn't have free will? Well, Marids have free will. Yet they could be compelled to perform certain chores. According to folklore, they also have the ability to grant wishes to mortals, but that usually requires battle, imprisonment, rituals, or just a great deal of flattery. I would love to have my own place to relax. I would have my magic lamp in my garage, and then I would feel like, if I feel like getting away, I could take a staycation into my lamp. It'd be decked out with gold walls, fluffy pillows, beanbags, pizza, and a boombox.
My number 5 is the Kraken.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
Kraken is an enormous octopus of Norse legend that consumes entire ships. They say it grapples a ship with its tentacles and drags it under the water in a swirling motion that creates a whirlpool so that nothing can escape. It says it especially likes the taste of human flesh.
Oh man.
Yes.
So I think it'd be cool to be a Kraken because, I mean, you could pretty much do whatever the fuck you want. Obviously, you'd be living under the water. I like the water, so that sounds fun. Um, yeah, causing mass destruction would be pretty fucking cool too. So that's my number 5 is the Kraken.
You could also like when you sink a ship, take its treasure.
Yeah, hoard it like Smaug.
Yeah.
Smaug. All right, number 5 on my list is gonna have to be a succubus, for two big obvious reasons.
Why wouldn't you be the male version?
I'm getting to that.
Oh, okay.
When I think of a succubus, I'm thinking of the one from Castlevania, Symphony of the Night, or Lords of Shadow, Mirrors of Fate. A succubus is a female demon who comes to you in your dreams to play with you. This would come in handy to les it up with my wife. If she is unwilling to les it up, which she would be, just invade her dreams and she'll be none the wiser. So that's why I chose a succubus.
You know what the male version is called?
Incubus.
Number 4 on my list is the cockatrice. The cockatrice is supposed to be born from an egg, laid by a chicken, and incubated by a toad. A snake could also be substituted. Cockatrice became synonymous with basilisk, which is the basiliscus in Bartholomew Angelicus de Proprietris Rerum, circa 1260 AD.
You want another take at that, or are you fine with that?
That's as best as my Latin's gonna get. But I thought it was hecka cool that someone named Bartholomew Angelicus came up with the basiliscus. But the thing about a basilisk, guess what it doesn't have that a cockatrice does?
A rooster head?
Wings.
Oh, my bad.
It is thought that a cock egg would birth a cockatrice and could be prevented by tossing the yolkless egg over the family's house, landing on the other side of the house without allowing the egg to actually hit the house. Catch that?
No.
So first a rooster has to lay an egg,
Okay.
cock egg, and then you have to throw it over the family house, make it land on the other side of the house without letting it hit the house.
Okay.
And then a cockatrice could be born that way too. Its reputed magical abilities include turning people to stone or killing them by either looking at them, like the death darting eye of a cockatrice. They could touch him, or sometimes breathing on him is just fine. Like the head of Medusa, the cockatrice powers of petrification were thought still active after death.
Someone did their homework.
It was repeated in the late medieval bestiaries that the weasel is the only animal that is immune to the glance of the cockatrice.
What?
The cockatrice also could fly using a set wings affixed on its back. So just imagine soaring over the countryside and just looking at people and turning them into stone.
So, how big are they, though?
Oh, they're about this big, about 6 feet in length.
Okay.
And they have a snake body with a rooster head and wings, and they have feet too.
So a basilisk has a rooster head, too?
Yep,
I didn't know that.
just no wings. What do you think a basilisk was?
A lizard-like creature?
It is in reality, isn't it? That's the.
You're talking about the real basilisk.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the one that's known for running on water.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that they're referred to as the same thing, though.
Yeah, except the mythological basilisk has a rooster head.
Okay.
Is that all you have to say on the cockatrice?
Yep.
See, there are cockatrices or cockatrice, I don't know.
Cockatrice eye.
And the game Ogre Battle, and those things petrify like a motherfucker.
Mm.
If they petrify your party, you're done for. But To me, they look very similar to griffins,
Yeah.
and a griffin almost made my list. But thought it was kind
Um,
of gay.
in Final Fantasy IV, I think there's a cockatrice that's a bird-like creature too.
Well, it's a bird-like creature that has four legs and a
Hmm.
tail.
Hmm.
So I mean, that's what they say that a griffin is an eagle slash lion. I think is what a
Yeah.
griffin is. But a cockatrice sounds completely different, although they look kind of similar. All right, so my number four, I'm gonna go with the video game theme one. This one's from Final Fantasy. It's the Dragon King Bahamut.
Oh man.
Bahamut's a fucking savage. He's a dragon. Uses the Mega Flare, Nuke Flare, any sort of flare. It changes from game to game. But he's known to be like the most powerful of all the summons in all the Final Fantasy video games. So of course it'd be cool to be a dragon, be able to fly around and just cause havoc everywhere. The one thing that I wouldn't like about Bahamut is that you're kind of at the you have to follow a party basically. But the good thing is that usually the party is fighting for good, so that's redeeming, I suppose. I also like that in order for him to become loyal to a party, the party has to defeat him first. I'll go with Bahamut for my number four.
Awesome. Let me take you to a little place called the Middle East. Abu Dhabi,
Little place.
Iraq, Kazakhstan, Agrabah maybe.
Oh man.
Number 4 on my list is a genie who could have unlimited cosmic power and go into a bottle when I want to be left alone. I could cause so much mischief and torment, I wouldn't know what to do with myself. I would grant wishes to those who are my friends and not to those who aren't. I would also throw parties in my bottle like Brandon, have my own man cave. So a genie, that was number 4 on my list.
Or you could be like for your enemies, you could grant their wishes, but it make it be like the genie from Wishmaster and then be evil wishes. Like I want $1 million. I give him $1 million, but let it fall on him.
A million $1 bills or $1 million worth of pennies.
Are you guys familiar with lycanthropy?
Yeah, that made my list too.
Various methods for becoming a werewolf have been reported. One of the simplest being the removal of clothing and putting on a belt made of wolf skin. I think that's just like an excuse to just go outside and try to become a werewolf. Like you put on this loin skin and then like you know how people think they get drunk when they drink non-alcoholic beer.
Yeah.
So wearing like a wolf skin loincloth makes you feel like a werewolf when you're not.
Makes sense.
In other cases, the body is rubbed with a magic salve. Drinking rainwater out of the footprint of the animal in question or from certain enchanted streams can also be considered effectual modes of accomplishing metamorphosis. But can you imagine us being a werewolf, just ripping and tearing, and but you would have to be one to be able to control it, so that you weren't like wake up and like your family be killed. You're like, oh no, what did I do? Like you have to control it, and I think that'd be pretty cool. What happens if a werewolf is blown up by a bomb?
It comes back together.
Did you know that?
No.
What's the only true way to kill a werewolf?
Silver bullet,
Through.
the heart.
That is correct. Like I said, my actions would be good, would be used for good, and I'd have a cool theme song play whenever I shifted. Probably like a Wolf and Man from Metallica, and that's all I can say about a werewolf.
About a werewolf. My number three is a character by the name of Abaddon.
Oh man, I know Abaddon.
Abaddon is badass. The name translates from Hebrew into destruction, ruin, and perdition. In the Bible, he's referred to as the angel of the bottomless pit. He's the fifth angel of the apocalyptic tradition, and he is said to open up the gates of hell to unleash creatures of hell onto those without the seal of God on their foreheads. After these torments, Abaddon is supposed to seize Satan himself, bind him, and toss him into a bottomless pit for 1,000 years. There's a local band that I'm really into. Well, I used to be into. They're not very big anymore. They're called Sworn Vengeance. And they wrote a song called Abaddon. I'm going to play a piece of that
Oh,
for you
man.
right now.
Tight.
You guys have anything to add about Abaddon while I'm looking this up?
I know, well, not about Abaddon, but Sworn Vengeance. I remember the member of Sworn Vengeance, he was the first person that I saw with lip ring.
Do you remember going to their shows? Obviously you do,
Yeah.
if you remember what the guy looked like. They had the funnest shows. If you've ever been to a hardcore show, you know that the way they dance is rather violent. It basically looks like they're putting on a karate demonstration. And what Sworn Vengeance would do is they would throw like weapons out into the crowd, like cookie sheets and things like that. I mean, nothing too dangerous, but it just made a really cool effect. So here's a little bit of Abaddon. Let's see if this works. Fuck yes. So my number 3 is Abaddon.
Number 3 on my list is going to be a centaur. Who wouldn't like to have 100% accuracy with a bow and arrow and have the bottom half of a horse?
Oh man.
You could change into a centaur when your wife is feeling a little frisky. You could also still communicate with humans. Watch out for the centaur.
So is that like when your wife is feeling frisky, you could be the centaur while you still carry a conversation with someone else?
No,
Is it? Oh, okay. Okay.
frisky.
Number 2 on my list is pretty simple. It's a dragon.
I just want to put this out there. There's a stipulation. My wife would probably never have sex with a centaur. I could see her listening to the podcast now and be like, I would never have sex with a half horse. Like half horse, half man. She's like, I'd never do that.
What about a minotaur?
Probably not that either. So I just wanted to put that out there.
Back to my number 2, the dragon.
Tight.
You could just same thing as a werewolf, have extreme power. You could hoard gold. You could be used for good or bad, but obviously I'd be used for good and fight other dragons trying to take over the countryside. I'd be like the rebel dragon, and I wouldn't let anyone ride me.
I wouldn't let anyone ride me.
No. I might use like for people I know, I could transform into the dragon and give them some of my blood to become immortal. It is said if you bathe in the blood of a dragon, you become immortal. But maybe you have to kill a dragon to bathe in its blood, and then you'll be immortal. So that wouldn't work out for me.
What if you drink the blood of a dragon? What does that do?
Oh, I don't know what that does.
Because we've done that a few times.
Oh man, on our hunts.
Yeah.
No,
Well,
Vegas.
Tournament of Kings.
Oh yeah,
Dragon
the dragon's blood. I think they dilute it though. They mix it, cut it with tomato soup.
Tomato soup.
What? No way.
I think like pure dragon's blood might have ash in it, like it'd be ashy, like lava. So to bathe in it, you have to cut it with water or something. That makes sense.
Number 2 on my list is slightly more peaceful than my other 3 so far. It's simply an Ent. Ents are a race of beings from Tolkien's fantasy world, Middle Earth. They closely resemble trees. They they basically are walking, talking trees. Um, their names derive from the Anglo-Saxon word for giant. They appear in the Lord of the Rings as ancient shepherds of the forest and allies of the free peoples of Middle Earth during the War of the Ring. In The Two Towers, the second of the Lord of the Rings trilogy, the last March of the Ents occurs, and that's where they fight the army of Saruman, and of course they're victorious because they're fucking powerful. But I just love that they're so chill. Everything they do takes days, years. They don't give a fuck about anything. But whenever I think about the Ents, I always think about this song by Rush, simply entitled "The Trees."
There is unrest in the forest, there is trouble with the trees. For the maples want more sunlight, and the oaks ignore their pleas.
Yes.
The trouble with the maples, and they quite convinced they're right. They say the oaks are just too lucky, they forever for the night. But the oaks can't help their feelings if they like the way they're made. And they wonder why the maples can be happy in their shade.
You guys heard that song before?
No.
No.
Heck a tight song. Has nothing to do with Ents in reality, but it just makes me think of it because it's about trees.
Do you know who Marty and the Love Hammers are?
No. Are you is that the Back to the Future band or
No.
something?
The reason I brought it up is they also have a song called Trees, and I'm going to play a little bit of that.
Oh yeah, I know that guy.
I don't wanna go through this life without you by my side. I've got it all worked out in my head. Here's how it's got to be. It'll be you and me up in the trees, and the forest will give us the answer. It'll be you and I up in the sky. It's a combination for disaster.
He was runner-up of a reality show called, I don't know what it was called, but they were trying to find the next singer of NXS.
NXS, yeah.
And I think he was at Gibson Ranch one year. I remember seeing in the Sacramento News and Review or something. I didn't go, but when I think of trees, that's what I think of.
The winner of that was a total douchebag.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, who'd want to sing for NXS anyway? They have hella stupid songs.
I didn't even know who that band was until I looked him up.
I don't like them at all. Moving on. Number 2 for me is gonna be a werewolf.
Yeah.
Finally, I have an excuse to eat human meat. I've always wanted to taste the meat of every animal. Karen thinks I'm gross when I salivate at the dishes that Dr. Lecter makes on the TV show Hannibal.
Oh man.
I'm like, what? That looks hella good. I would stalk my prey, most likely that someone I didn't like, kill them, barbecue them in my wolf form, and eat them so I don't get AIDS. So that's my number 2 is a werewolf so I could eat human meat.
Would you eat a human brain?
Probably not.
Okay, just the meat.
Just the meat, like the ribs and the arms and stuff.
Can you imagine just like a huge calf on an open fire? Like a calf muscle?
That'd be hella
on a
good.
shank, like on a leg shank.
A flank. No, but that TV show is awesome. And like when Hannibal makes food, it's like, dang, that looks hecka good. And Karen's all like, that's gross. Don't be gross. I don't like it when you say things like that.
It hurts her spirit. So would you like? Are you just like waiting for like martial law to be declared in the United States? Like not even a zombie outbreak, but like something to go down where the government doesn't have control and man has law of the land, where there's no rules.
No, if I really wanted to eat a human, I'd do it.
Oh, okay.
I wouldn't have to wait for martial law. I'd just do it.
Mermen and mermaids get a bad rap. They are known to drown sailors. I call BS on that. My first reason for being able to transform into a merman would be to explore the ocean. Can you imagine all the creatures you would discover? And I just love floating aimlessly in water anyways. It's so soothing. Jamila said she'd be my mermaid. She would lay a ton of eggs in a trench near her kingdom of Atlantis, and I would spray my seed all over them. While my eggs were incubating, I would take years and explore the complete sea bottom and unite the sea creatures. And if any of them would oppose, they'd feel the wrath of my trident. I've always wanted to eat a shark anyways. But my conquest would not stop at the sea. I would build the army of our mer children. They would share my vision of conquest. We would attack the world from underwater, where they could not reach us, the humans. My initial attack on the land dwellers would begin with my army chipping away through small islands until they sank underwater to join my kingdom. Each island that fell to the trenches would only add bounty. We would eventually start our domination of the large continents with Iceland or Greenland, whichever one has the most castles. I would appoint mare barons to rule these castles. They would be my trusted generals of the sea, and I would have a sushi buffet every day.
So you'd be experiencing cannibalism too.
Why?
Half cannibalism.
Yeah, I wouldn't eat another mer person.
That'd be silly. Just the fish.
Yeah, exactly, and sharks. I don't know about whales though. I think they're too fatty. It wouldn't be cool to just like stand on a whale and let it like take you all over the sea bottom floor.
If you could survive it, yeah.
Of course, more people could survive the bottom of the chasm.
Oh, that'd be like your horse. Your car would be the whale.
Yeah, my steed. That'd be pretty cool.
Gotta watch out for the kraken though.
Oh man.
I don't think a trident's gonna stop a kraken.
No, but I think we could see eye to eye. He likes destroying ships. I like destroying islands. We'll share the treasure.
Krakens do prefer the taste of human flesh.
Oh,
And mer
yes.
people are half human, right?
Yeah, but I think it would be okay.
My number one is the most mythical of all creatures. It's the Christian God, the eternal being who created and preserves the world. Christians believe God to be both transcendent and immanent. And when I think of the Christian God, I think of Faith Plus One. I'm going to play a little piece of Faith Plus One for you.
Was that a band?
Like a good band.
Our first album cover. Don't ever leave me, Jesus. I couldn't stand to see you go. My heart
knew
would
it sounded
simply
familiar.
stab my Lord if you walked on out that door. I promise I'll be good to you and keep you warm at night. Jesus, 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 why don't we just shut off the light? You know, Jesus, I've been thinking a lot about you lately. Well, that's why I wrote this song. I love you, Jesus. I want you to walk with me. I take good care of you, baby. Call you my baby, baby. You died for my sins, and you know that I would die for you, right? What's the matter, baby? You're trembling, Jesus, baby. Your love is my light. You know when I'm without you, there's a black hole in my life. Oh, I wanna believe it's alright, but I get lonely in the night, and it's up to you to save me, Jesus, baby.
So for those of you who don't know, Faith Plus One is a band that was made up on the show South Park. Cartman, one of the main characters, everyone knows who Cartman is. What the fuck? He made a bet that he could make a platinum album before either Stan or Kyle did, and he realized that Christian bands just steal music from other bands and translate it into like Christian terms. So that's what he did with Faith Plus One.
Didn't he say just replace baby with Jesus?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it was. So yeah, the Christian God, the most powerful of all mythical beings.
So my number one is going to be a dragon. Who would not want to be able to change into a dragon? You could take over the world if you wanted to. You could fly to like North Korea, stand in the middle of their city, change into a dragon and obliterate everything and change back before they could even do anything about it.
Wait, how would you fly to North Korea as a dragon?
No, in an airplane.
Why wouldn't you just fly over there as a dragon?
Because they could detect you with their missile
They
stuff.
don't have they don't have any type of artillery over there.
Before they could even think about nuking you, you could just turn back into a human and walk off. They wouldn't be able to do anything about it. If they did, foresee an attack, like let's say you did fly over there and they saw it, and they did nuke you, all you have to do is fly up, and they'll destroy their own city.
Yeah, because they're stupid like that.
Then I would just change back into human, go home and enjoy life. I'd be able to travel to any land, taste any animal I wanted, like giraffe neck meat, hippos, elephants, and even the beautiful gazelle. That was my number one.
I asked Jamila what she would be. She said a unicorn. And I said, why a unicorn? She's like, so I could just sit in the forest and be beautiful all day.
I asked Melissa the same question. She said Medusa.
Wow.
And I said Medusa was for girls.
Yeah. Do you see the new Clash of the Titans?
Mm-mm.
Medusa's hecka hot in that.
Oh, nice.
When I saw it, I elbowed Brandon and said I'd hit that.
I remember that.
Any dishonorable mentions?
Oh,
The Christian God.
Wasn't that your
Chupacabra.
Oh, come on.
That thing's hecka ugly looking.
Yeah. Still.
So I'm just going to put a little disclaimer in. I think we should have maybe specified a little bit more, because I went with characters and you guys more went with like species of mythical creatures. So I apologize for going a little off the track on a few of mine.
No, that's how it works. It was, like Brandon, it was up to our own interpretation.
Right.
In Norse mythology, there's this cosmic boar called Serimnir. It is killed each and every night by the Aesir and then eaten. The cook of the gods, Endermir, is responsible for slaughtering this beast and preparing it. And each morning it is rebirthed, so I could just die over and over again.
Everything in that Norse stuff ends with mir. It's kind of weird. Yeah, Chupacabra. I was thinking, who'd want to be a Chupacabra? Or Bigfoot.
Yeah, Bigfoot's stupid. Slow, wears a watch.
So let's go to the jerk of the week. My jerk of the week this week is going to have to be myself.
Oh, man.
Recently, I took a trip to the Goodwill. I was a little reluctant about telling this story because of how, I don't know what you would say about it.
It was certainly a faux pas.
At the least. So, let me just go ahead and tell the story here. Went to the Goodwill to find stuff. That's where I found the laser discs.
Oh, how about this? Next time you bring something big like that, bring something to ship it in.
So, basically, I was at the Goodwill looking for stuff. That's where I found the laser discs. Then I decided to go look for clothes. Went over there,
Do you want to
grabbed.
say where this incident took place so our listeners could avoid that Goodwill?
No, it. I should have just said thrift stop location. I shouldn't have even narrowed it down
You
to
could cut it out
Goodwill.
still. You gonna cut it out?
No, I'm just gonna keep it in because it's too funny. Um, so I grab a bunch of pants to try on, some new dress pants. You could only bring 6 items with you to the dressing room. So and throughout the whole Goodwill, I'm like, damn, my ass is itching hella. I took a crap at work, and I must not have wiped fully. So I was like, man, you guys get that problem, right? Your butt will itch, and you're like, oh, I should have wiped better.
Yes, Brad. My butt itches sometimes.
Okay. So I'm just trying to justify it in my head. That's all. So I went to the Goodwill, went in, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna use one of these pant legs to wipe my butt and scratch it.
Oh, man.
And then so I'm like, I have 6 items, and I'm like, I really don't want to take these back out here, because what if they fit and I want to keep them or whatever. So I'm like, okay, I won't do it. So I get in the stall. She's like, you got 6 items? Okay, go right in. And I look, and someone left an article of clothing in the corner, and I'm looking, and it's like these baby blue jean shorts that no one will ever want to buy. So
Says you.
so I'm like, okay, I could use those. And then so I lift my leg up on the because I'm in my underwear now. I lift my leg up on the bench they have where you could sit down, and I ease my underwear down, and I grab those jean shorts, and I just went at it like all up in there, and I was like, oh, this feels hella good. My butt doesn't itch anymore. So then I removed him from my butt, and I was like, ugh.
Why you say
Because it was covered in poop. Probably mine. I didn't check before. So I'm like, oh, so I fold it up and like put them in the corner and leave them there. Because that's where they were before. I didn't, the lady wouldn't know I did it because those weren't the clothes I brought in. So I try on all my stuff and I say, these ones I don't like, I'll keep these ones. And she's like, okay. And then she looks in the corner. And I'm like, oh, she's gonna see it, and she's got gloves on, and then so she goes and picks him up, and like is starting to fold him, and she's like, the lady's like looking, she's like, oh, that's nasty. So I was like, oh. At least she's got gloves on, and then she went over to the intercom and said, Jorge, can you go visit the men's restroom and fill it with toilet paper? There's no toilet paper in there.
Oh man.
And then so I was like looking like, oh, that's gross. Who would have done that?
So, is that why you didn't use the restroom to wipe your butt because they were all out of toilet paper?
I wish my answer was yes, but I didn't even visit the bathroom.
So now, okay. So now I know. I just thought you like walked by a random piece of clothing and just like dropped trowel and then did it real quick and then kept walking. I thought it was like a drive-by wiping.
No, because I text Brandon. I said, I text you from Karen's phone.
Yeah, and I thought that was hilarious.
And I was like, I just wiped my butt at the Goodwill on some shorts. And then like 30 seconds later, I said, this is Brad, by the way. I'm sure it didn't cross your mind that it was Karen.
Not at all.
And because I've blown my nose on a shirt at Target before when I had bad allergies, and the bathroom was like way in the back. I was like out on the floor and I just blew my nose in it, and Karen's like, don't you ever do that again. This is like when we first got married, but now she's evolved to actually take my grossness. Because I was telling her about it and she was like, Brad, that's gross. Like nothing like, oh, you don't do that again or whatever. She just accepted it. So that's why I'm the jerk of the week, because I don't even feel remorse about it. And like 3 times on the way home, I was like, man, my butt really doesn't itch anymore.
You said that out loud?
Yeah.
When I was at home, I was laying on the bed just watching TV or something. Naja walked by and she says, "Dad, don't drop the soap."
What?
And I said, "You don't even know what that means." She's like, "Yeah, if you do that in jail, you get butt raped."
Dang. What'd you do? Like watch Blood In, Blood Out or something?
No,
Or Shawshank?
There was these kids that got in a fight at her school, and apparently one of the parents is pressing charges because the kid was beat so bad. And they said that there's talks of him going to juvenile hall, so that's when the butt rape circulation started.
That's hella funny. So what were you thinking when you got that text? Like, didn't you show it to Jamila or something?
Sure did. And she read it. She had to read it like 3 times. And she's like, "That's gross." And we started discussing it. Like I said, like first she asked, "Why didn't you go to the bathroom?" I said, "Well, was it a drive-by wiping?" Like, she's like, "How does he do that?" I said, "Well, he doesn't wear underwear, so he was probably wearing some cotton shorts. Just lifted the leg on one of them and snuck some clothes up there and wiped it." All these different scenarios are going in my head. Now that makes sense.
I was waiting for you to call me so I could explain it. I was like,
Oh.
I guess he understood it.
It's like just random Brad things.
Because I think all I texted you was, I just want my butt at the Goodwill with some pants.
Yeah, some jean shorts, and I was like, okay. I guess that is kind of disturbing. I didn't even have to call to verify the story or anything.
So I heard you had some run-ins with the game you're playing this week.
Oh yeah, well, I started playing Castlevania: Orders of Ecclesia, but I say Ecclesia. It's like Symphony of the Night, except the only gripe about it is you play a chick and not any member of the Belmont family, which is alright, I guess. But I remember playing this game years ago, and it was so fun, and I let you borrow it.
Yeah.
And I had already 100%ed out the game, got all the items, so I get the game back from you a few weeks ago. I'm like, I'm going to play this. I start playing it. I go to select my file. I see the first name on the file. I always use the third one, anyways. Was Terror, level 6, 2% complete. I'm like, all right. I scroll.
That's Sam's.
Yeah, I scroll down. It was like another one. I don't know who it was. It was only like 30% complete. And I go to my file. The name is not Belmont. It's ABC level 2, 0.1% complete. I'm guessing that was Logan.
I'm guessing.
So my game got saved over, and I was like, come on. So I deleted all the files and just started from scratch. I already beat it 4 times and 100% it again. But it was pretty fun.
I thought you were going to find my old file on there. The chick's name was Swallows.
No, that happened on Pokemon. I have a random Pokemon from the original trainer named Swallows.
I haven't been playing any video games for a while, but last night Matt Gerward, Tim Wilson, Justin Ashwell, and I got together and played a couple games of Munchkin.
Mm-hmm.
Munchkin is a card game. It's kind of like Dungeons and Dragons with cards, basically.
But not stupid.
Yeah, it's a fun game, and you know, it plays itself. You don't have to have like a dungeon master or anything like that. So anyway, there's a ton of cards, and some of the cards are vaguely worded, meaning that sometimes you have to go to the creators of the game in order to get official rulings on things. This is where my jerk of the week comes in.
Mm-hmm.
My jerk of the week is the Munchkin Man and the Munchkin Czar.
Oh,
Fuck those
jeez.
guys. Last night a situation came up where it was the difference between me getting 15 treasures or possibly dying. So I'm not gonna go into the details, but I ended up having to run away, and I was actually able to avoid dying, but I didn't get the 15 treasures that I was possibly owed. So of course, when I go home that evening, I write the creators of the game. It's like worldofmunchkin.com forums or something like that. And usually what they do is they request that you post on a thread that's already been started, like if there's anything similar to that question, so that you can add on to it, so that other people can find it later, and there's not a bunch of threads started. And that's what I did. This morning I wake up and he separates my thread out. He says, I created a new thread. You shouldn't add on to a thread if that question's already been answered, and follow these directions in the future. And then he goes on to answer my question. Well, it turns out that I was supposed to get the 15 treasures and not have to run away. So I was happy about that because I was right. I ended up winning the game anyway, so I didn't really care. But anyway, the point is that you don't have to be a pretentious asshole just because you're the Munchkin Man or the Munchkin Czar or the Munchkin Lord. You don't have to be an asshole. People are paying for your product to play your game. You don't have to be a dick about it. So that's my jerk of the week is the Munchkin Man.
And
Fuck that guy.
they're employed by the Andrew Hackard guy or whatever.
Uh, Andrew Hackard is the Munchkin Czar,
Mhm.
and I think he is involved in creating a lot of the cards now. I'm not sure what his function was before. I think Munchkin Man is maybe like marketing or something like that, but he also can make official rulings.
Okay.
But the name of the game company is Steve Jackson Games, so I guess they're probably all employed by Steve
Mhm.
Jackson Games.
What an idiot!
He's
I hate
he's
people
an
like
asshole,
that.
dude. Every time you post something, he'll give you some sort of direction like you did something wrong. It's like, no, just answer the question. Don't be a fucking asshole. So that's my joke of the week.
Did you ever? I know we had a few questions when we played at my house with Tim. Did you ever get those answered?
You'll have to remind me what they
I
were.
was trying to look it up. I can't remember what it was.
Sometimes I forget unless I write them down.
I sent you a text about them, and I sent you the cards. I can't remember what they were though.
I'll have to look it up.
Yeah.
So you want to go into what we're going to do on 48?
Sure.
So what do you want to do?
Oh, what was the top 5?
I don't think we picked one
Because
yet.
I gave 3 of them, and then one was the Mythical Beasts. I can't remember what the other 2 were.
But we're finally going to discuss the dark times
Oh man.
that was aforementioned in episode 1. Brandon's dark times. So he requested it be like an interview style, so I'll try my best to think of some questions.
Okay. And that was from what periods? 2004 to 2006?
They're your dark times, I don't know.
That whenever I was living with Steven, that was horrible. Alright. Anything else? Oh, episode 50. So I'm doing a game show, 3 games. The first game is going to be Family Feud type questions where I made a Survey Monkey trivia thing and sent it to a bunch of people on Facebook and to my work. Got a good showing for that. I think I got like 50 something responses.
Cool.
Game 2 will be trivia and the Shockmaster.
Oh no.
So basically, hopefully, Mikey B doesn't cancel and we have 6 people. It'll be Matt, Nick, Brad, Mikey B, Tim, and Maddie G. And of course, teams will be drawn, and there's going to be 3 main categories. The first category is sports. The second category is monsters or mythical beasts. And the third category is video games. Each category, a team member on each team is going to have to wear the Shockmaster. And say if Brad's team goes first, he automatically has to bid 2 seconds. 2 seconds is basically how long, if you get the question wrong, you have to wear the Shockmaster at max aptitude or max ampage. So 10 and 10. So if Nick thinks he knows that answer, he could bid 4 seconds, 5 seconds. So whoever has the most seconds to a maximum of 10 gets to answer the question. You could also automatically jump up to 10 seconds if you are confident enough. If you get it wrong, even if it's like if Matt's on your team and he's like 10 seconds, he gets it wrong, you get shocked for 10 seconds. So after each subset, so after sports, we move on to monsters, and then it would switch to the next person, the Shockmaster.
Oh man, so is all 4 pads going to be on one person?
No, 2 on one person on the team, and then 2 on Nick's, like 2 on him. And each category, so sports, there's 4 or 5 categories within sports, and they're all 5-point value, so there's no 1 through 5 points. So,
Okay.
I think I finished sports. There's basketball, baseball, miscellaneous, poker, and wild card. Wild card is just random stuff. Then there's under the monsters. There's dispatching monsters through cinema. There's monsters from different lands, so like maybe Europe or and then there's Toho monsters, which is Godzilla, Mothra, Rodan, and then there's a wild card and another category I didn't finish. But for video games, there's one section of protagonists, there's weapons, and 3 more I haven't come up with yet. And then the third portion is going to be a video game tournament, fighting games. So it should be fun.
Cool. That's going to be our 50th anniversary too. We should do something fun.
Like get a cake.
Something, yeah, like a little party or something.
Well, that'll do it for this episode of Treasure Hunting for Nostalgia. This is Brandon.
This is Brad.
That's Nick.
Happy hunting.